We will further on discuss some outstanding ideas distinguishing the Gospel of John from the Synoptic tradition. For the time being, however, I will focus on its polemical strategies in the service of the task of self-identification. We note that the Synoptic narrative positions Jesus and his followers vis-à-vis a variety of contemporaneous Jewish groups: Pharisees, Zealots, Sadducees, scribes, priestly circles, etc. What immediately strikes the reader of the fourth Gospel is that, unlike the Synoptics, in John, and there are plenty of polemical passages there, those rivals are in most cases lumped together, being branded collectively as just Jews, Judaioi in Greek. Yet even in the fourth Gospel, the scenery is intra-Jewish. The whole plot takes place within the land of Israel Jewry, with a brief outing to Samaria. The feeling, however, because of that usage of Jews in general, is of a greater estrangement, a greater distance. We will return to it later, but let me mention already now that in the Synoptic tradition, it is almost exclusively by the Roman authorities that this generalizing appellation, Jews, is employed, as in the writing on the cross, King of the Jews. Here, Judaioi clearly represent the people of Israel as a whole. The inscription mocks their supposed messianic hopes that clearly collapsed with Jesus' crucifixion. This meaning, however, is not necessarily intended in the fourth Gospel. By the way, the Greek word Judaioi used in the Gospel could mean specifically the Jewish dwellers of Judea, the Judeans. We will return to this issue further on. Another peculiar identity-shaping strategy of John is polemic, and a pretty sharp one, directed against some circles among Jesus' followers themselves. This also may reflect perceptions belonging to a later stage, when divisions within the Jesus movement would become well pronounced. Let us look, for example, at the passage in chapter 8 of the Gospel of John. I start from verse 31. Jesus then said to the Jews who had believed in him, "If you continue in my word, you are truly my disciples, and you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free." They answered him, "We are descendants of Abraham, and have never been in bondage to anyone." Jesus answered them, "Truly, truly, I say to you, everyone who commits sin is a slave to sin. If you were Abraham's children, you would do what Abraham did. But you now seek to kill me, a man who has told you the truth, which I heard from God. This is not what Abraham did. You do what your father did." They said to him, "We were not born of fornication. We have one Father, God." Jesus said to them, "If God were your Father, you would love me, for I proceeded and came forth from God. I came not of my own accord, but He sent me. Why do you not understand what I say? It is because you cannot hear my word. You are of your father, the devil, and your will is to do your father's desires." I must admit that the meaning of some details of this exchange, as it often happens in John, remain obscure for me. But it is clear that some Jews who do believe in Jesus' messiahship and who see themselves as sons of God, namely God's chosen, are in the final account branded here as sons of devil. This pattern appears also elsewhere in the Gospel of John. Such sectarian language of sons of devil, is complemented in John with a strong dichotomy of light and darkness, starting already in the famous statement in the prologue, it's John 1:5, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." One wonders whether the fact that John heavily reworked the synoptic tradition is an indication of the author's deep disagreement with both that tradition and certain circles within the movement who embraced it. The sectarian language also prompts comparison with the outlook reflected in the Dead Sea Scrolls. This will be our next topic.